Exodus 15:3. Exodus 15. Numbers 21:14. Just the strings. Numbers 21:14. The crown of a fighter is in our midst. Wherefore it is said, where? In the book of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea, in the brooks of Arnon, verse 15, and at the stream of the brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab, 16. From thence they went to Beer, that is the well whereof the Lord spake unto Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water. So every time you find rivers flowing, a warfare just ended. Verse 17. And Israel sang this song, spring up, well, sing ye unto it. Verse 18. And the princes digged the well, and the nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staves. Listen, there is a difference between an intercessor and a warrior. Intercessors are not the same as warriors. When you look at the offices of the kingdom of heaven, there are 12 offices that are available in the kingdom of heaven. There is a difference between the offices that work in the church and the offices available in the kingdom of God. Are you getting me now? In the church, there are only 5 major offices allowed expression within the church, which is the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastors, and the teachers. These are the offices available within ministerial leadership in the church. But the kingdom of God is bigger than the church. The church is only a segment of that kingdom, and every believer may not have a ministerial responsibility in the church, but every believer is redeemed to function in the kingdom. Are you following me? First, the ranking of those offices is the office of the guardian. The guardian. The Bible speaking about Adam. Adam was a guardian. There are certain men whose responsibility is to become a protector. Guardians are what? Protectors. No evil enters into a city except a guardian falls. And our city has been bewildered, marauded. The heritage of God has gone into desolation because guardians are missing from duty posts. Guardians are men that stand over cities. Adam, Adam, where art thou? It's the question to guardians. The serpent never enters the garden until the guardians fall. And in this season, Satan is sending distractions to guardians. Guardians are beyond men of prayer, that their very existence stops things from entering. Speaking about Elijah, when he departed, Elijah cried. He said, my father, the chariots of Israel and their horsemen. Elijah was a guardian over the nation. There are such men like that. Haven't you read that Samuel, from Dan to Beersheba, as long as that man was alive, the Philistines never ventured into Israel? Guardians. And what happened? The moment Adam fell from guardianship, what happened? God sent angelic cherubims. He said to go and guard the way of the tree of life. There are many of you, the moment you know that your life is a guardian, that you yourself, you are a guardian. You are a guardian in the spirit. There are things, there are destinies that are under your wings. There are men and women whose lives in God will never come to completion if you are out of the way. So guardians, you may not have a church, but your very presence is like a rock that men cannot but know that there is a man in the land. Cities are restored because they are guardians, protectors, apostles. When we become mature, we enter into the office of a guardian. When an apostle comes into full ranking and commissioning, he leaves becoming an apostle to the church, and God places him over a city, that the city can be named after you. That beyond having an office, you now have a role. Guardians are senators in the chambers of God. It's not by age, it's by capacity. For in the realm of the spirit, a young man can become an elder. It's not older. Older means the age is increasing. Elder means the knowledge is increasing. God has elders. Elders, these are fountains of wisdom. These are men who through use have known he that is from the beginning. He said, I speak unto you elders, because you have known the one that is from the beginning. Guardians, they might be young men. As long as that young man is in that university, there are certain things that will never happen. When Satan enters into a city, the first thing he does is to find the ranking men in that place. Not everybody is a target. Not everybody is a choice. He finds those who have stripes on their shoulders. Guardians. There might be ushers in church, but they are guardians. There might be ushers, but they are guardians. There might be musicians, but they are guardians. Number two, we know, is the office of a watcher. A watcher. So this is the degree of the watchers. Daniel chapter 4 from verse 23 talks about the watchers. There's a difference between a prophet and a watcher. A prophet is different from a watcher. But when a prophet becomes matured in handling hallowed things, God shifts him to become a watcher. A watcher are those who look over nations, whereas prophets might reveal men, reveal the situations ongoing, but watchers reveal the destiny of nations. In the book of Daniel, we saw the wisdom of the watchers. We saw the ministry of watchers. The mighty men, kings could fall because watchers made a decree. Prophets can't speak to that level. Are you hearing me? Kings are above prophets. In the hierarchy of matters, kings are the highest. So you can have a king who doesn't bow to God, prophesy all you want, nothing can change. But when a man is a watcher, Daniel 4 verse 23, please, 23. And whereas the king, prophets were in the land, but when it comes to matters of kingdom come, God doesn't use prophets. God uses watchers. Watchers are rarely people that speak. When you see a man rushing to speak, he's still a prophet. When he has become a prophet, he becomes a seer. A seer is one that can see and still keep quiet. They spoke to Daniel, said, Daniel, seal up the book. You can see it, but don't speak it yet. Say it is for a time to come. Prophets are instantaneous in their deliveries. They see, they talk. But watchers are those who see, and their lives become the message of what they say, of what they saw. There are different kinds of prophets. There are those who speak it, there are those who become it. Ezekiel was not asked to prophesy. They said begin to dress in a certain way. Your dressing becomes the prophecy. King saw a water, and an holy one did what? Coming down from heaven. This is the difference between Micaiah and the 400 prophets that were prophesying to Hezekiah and Ahab. 400, they say, we have seen a vision. 120, sorry. Say, go to Ramoth Gilead. God has given you victory. And Micaiah said, I was there. We don't see, we were when this matter, these people are talking, we were the ones that sat down. Say, I was there. When the Lord asked and said, who shall go and be a lying spirit to Ahab, that he might go into battle and be killed? And the spirit walked up and said, I can go. And God asked him, how will you do it? He said, I will lie to the people he says are prophets. Haven't you? I don't want to stop this night. I will be a lying spirit. I will be a lying spirit. And Micaiah said, I was there. He said, these men are all lying. God is raising strong men that you can turn and look at the many and say the many are liars. The many, this is the difference between many men and strong men. So these men are lying. You are headed for doom. The king said, if I come back, he says, you will not come back. That's a watcher. Is a man who decisions that pertain to nations are done and he's invited. Can I talk? Let me explain something. Prophets receive what we call messages. Messages. It's like SMSs, right? That's how they receive revelations, like SMSs. Angels bring prophets revelations, or watchers